Good morning, Wildcats. Today is Thursday, April 22nd. I'm Lexi Vorndran.
And I'm Timmy Paul.
And welcome to WCTZ News.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is Earth Day, a great day to do something for the community and the environment.
In today's episode, we will look at the many ways our West Shore community has united to strengthen the Wildcat Nation during these difficult times.
First, let's go to Maddie Coulter with a story on how we restored something that was lost 7 months ago.
Distant. No word better describes the past school year. However, this week, the Wildcat community is rallying together in honor of Spirit Week leading up to Wildcat Challenge.
What I love about Spirit Week is that teachers and students and administration, everybody gets to have fun. And I think it's good for the kids to see that adults can be pretty silly too. I love to watch the kids' excitement, and then when they come back the following school day telling all the fun that they had and the fun things that happened during it.
The student government knows that Spirit Week is really important to our student body, and so since we weren't allowed to have one over the first semester, we really pushed for it, and we asked the district, we asked admin to help us, and luckily they said yes, and so the student body got a Spirit Week. This year, since Powder Puff and Homecoming were canceled due to COVID, we wanted it to still lead up to an event being Wildcat Challenge, and so the week prior to Wildcat Challenge is when we set the Spirit Week date.
Wildcat Challenge is a field day between the junior and senior classes. They compete against each other in terms of classes, like juniors versus seniors, but they also compete within each class through the homerooms.
I think that being with my homeroom for so long definitely does help with the excitement of it all, because we've just been with each other for so long, and just I remember the first day of 7th grade, like to think now that I'm a junior with my homeroom, it's exciting.
Wildcat Challenge is something you wait for, you earn, so that when you're a junior and a senior you can finally participate. But even as a middle school kid, like they see the kids all dressed up and they want to play.
When I first came to West Shore, I would always look up to the older kids, and I was so excited to get to my junior and senior year where we would be able to do those fun activities where we would all come together.
Ever since right about a year ago when we all got sent home from COVID, that was last year's Wildcat Challenge, the campus has been pretty quiet in terms of school events. So I'm excited just for the school to be able to do something and for us to have fun.
This has been Maddie Coulter reporting for WCTZ News.
Thanks, Maddie. Later this week, we will see the highlights of the Wildcat Challenge right here on WCTZ News.
Now is a great time to thank our sponsor, Slaughter Insurance. Insurance for the community from a member of the community.
There will be a Spanish Honor Society meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Join the Google Classroom with this code for more information.
Now, let's turn to Ben Nielsen with a story on the senior class coming together to ensure the best graduation possible.
As graduation approaches, so does herd immunity as more and more seniors get vaccinated for COVID-19.
Generally, the more people get the vaccine, the faster we can get back to having some things. Obviously, vaccines are starting to be opened up more, and it's starting to become easier because we're hitting a wall where there is more supply than demand. But I think as people see people around them get vaccinated and that they're fine, that number will drop. And I'm just hoping that we can hit herd immunity at some point.
I got my first vaccine about 3 weeks ago, and I get my next dose of it on Thursday. I heard that if you have both doses of your vaccine, then you can't get quarantined. And so I really wanted to make sure I got both doses of my vaccine before graduation, and that way I don't risk anything with accidentally getting quarantined by contact tracing or anything like that before graduation. And so I'm really excited about that, to be kind of exempt from that, and that way I won't have to worry about getting quarantined right before that.
So I just got my first shot of Pfizer not too long ago, probably 20-30 minutes ago. And really I feel relieved that you can call that a side effect. My arm is still a little sore here up top, but really I haven't felt anything except just relief, and I'm happy. I'm happy with where I am right now. The reason I decided to get the first dose of the vaccine was because I not only wanted to protect myself, but I wanted to protect others, and I really think that at this point, getting vaccinated is the best way to sort of stem the tide of COVID.
To finally reach the threshold of herd immunity in time for graduation, the senior class knows that it takes a village. Reporting for WCTZ News, this is Ben Nielsen.
Thank you, Ben. Graduation has been confirmed at the King Center with limited seating to 4 seats per senior.
Yes, and if anyone is not able to attend graduation in person, they can watch it live on the WCTZ News YouTube channel.
Now, let's go to Shane Winston with a story about a teacher working to build a community with e-learners and in-person students.
Unos libritos. No tengo todos los libritos. Necesito mis libritos.
It has not taken long for West Shore's newest Spanish teacher, Alexandria Stewart, to solve the problem of combining synchronous e-learners with in-person students.
Honestly, it is hard because every single activity that I can think of has to be thought of with the mindset of, can the kids at home do this too? But it is very, very challenging to try to make all those things work so the class can move forward as a group.
Stewart says she has many problems that she expected she'd have to solve.
They're not always cooperative in having their cameras on, so I can't really see their facial expressions a lot.
She says she was able to come up with some solutions.
What I try to do is engage them in as much conversation as I can, maybe find out something interesting about their lives and then bring it up occasionally or try to bring it into whatever I'm teaching at the time and try to get them to think of themselves as part of a whole class instead of just the individual at home.
But there were some problems she wasn't expecting to have.
The amount of tech support I have to do for a tech-savvy generation is really ridiculous. Apparently, using Google to find the answers is not as cool as just asking me.
Overall, students say that Stewart's inclusive classroom has had a positive impact on their ability to learn.
Like some other teachers will walk away from their computer and they'll ignore or just kind of leave the online kids out of what's going on. But when students say something in class or someone says a funny joke or something, she'll tell the online kids so that they feel like they're there.
I think in times like these where, people are getting sent home, they're not able to go sit with their friends at lunch, they can often feel excluded from normal everyday school. It's important that they maintain this type of environment whenever possible. So I really appreciate how she's able to keep things the same almost.
It's definitely made it a lot easier, especially with Spanish, since a lot of it is practicing talking. So being in a group, even with the people online, we can still practice talking even if we're not face to face.
Although it takes a village to make a school an inclusive community, Alexandria Stewart says she's doing her part to make West Shore as inclusive as possible. This has been Shane Winston reporting for WCTZ News.
Oh, yay!
Lexi, I think overall our teachers have done an amazing job providing education to our students while overcoming the obstacles COVID-19 has caused this year.
Yes, and I've been quarantined a couple times, and the teachers do a great job of including me in the classroom. As we know, it truly does take a village.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of WCTZ News. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Kraber Financial. Honest answers, smart advice.
This has been Lexi Vorndran
and Tenley Paul.
Have a fantastic day, Wildcats.